Okay, the first thing in chapter 1.2 is actually a review. The title of the chapter is Cuéntame de tu vacaciones, and that is Tell me about your vacation. And so when we do this, when we talk about our vacation, when we talk about where we went or what we did or what we saw, we're going to be using the preterite tense. So a quick review of the preterite tense for the irregular AR verbs. Now you should have this on your preterite sheet. You know, the one that says el preterito right across the top. It's pink. I three-hole punched it. This stuff should actually already be in there. So for AR verbs, what we do to make it the preterite tense is we are going to take off the AR and then we are going to add a, aste, o. Amos, astes, aron. Or as you probably remember the little chant, aste, o. Amos, astes, aron. Now, do note the two accents. There is an accent in the yo form, also an accent in the el, ea, usted form. So let's look at the difference between the present tense and the preterite tense. If I say el habla, well, that means he talks. If I say el habló, that means he talked. So the difference, of course, is the present tense and the past tense, or the preterite, as we call it. The preterite tense happened in the past. The present tense is happening currently. Okay, so with the preterite tense, there are many, 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 many irregulars. If you pulled out your sheet, your pink sheet that says El Preterito on it, you can notice that there's two small spots for regular preterite, and that's for AR endings. And then there is another small spot for ER-IR endings. So a lot of times we have irregular verbs in the preterite tense. And these actually, the three that you need to know for this particular chapter, again, are all review. So dar, ver, dar means to give, ver means to see. So again, when we make this into the preterite tense, what we're doing is we're making it a past tense. So D means I gave. Diste, you gave. Dio, he or she gave. Dimos, we gave. Distes, y'all gave. And dieron, they gave or you gave. The preterite tense of bear, bear means to see. So be would mean I saw. Viste, you saw. Vio, he or she saw. Vimos, we saw. Visteis, y'all saw. And vieron, they saw, or you plural saw. Okay, so if you remember, there's a little song, the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, that went along with that, and it was diste, dio, dimos, distes, dieron, viste, vio, vimos, vistes, vieron, are the forms of dar and ver, accents these verbs do not wear. So this should be review. Ser is also review, ser, ear. And the reason, obviously, that we categorize ser and ear together is because they're exactly the same in the preterite tense. And they are fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron, are the forms of ser and ear. Okay, then the last two things for this chapter, the verb hacer. And when we put it in the preterite tense, it means made or did. Because again, of course, the preterite tense is the past tense. So hice, I made, I did. Hiciste, you made, you did. As in, what did you do this last weekend? ¿Qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? Hizo, and that's spelled Hizo. I know that's a little hard to read, sorry. Hicimos, we made, we did. Hicisteis, y'all made or did. And then hicieron, you guys made, you guys did. They made, they did. And so again, this is the preterite tense. This you can find on your preterite sheet, your pink preterite sheet, right in the center. It's part of the I group. Notice that the hacer, H-A-C-E-R, when we put it in the preterite tense, it now has an I in the stem. Hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicisteis, and hicieron. We have changed that A to an I. That's why we call it part of the I group. The final thing, and again, this is a review for Spanish too, but the number 3 here, are palabras interrogativas. Now, what palabras interrogativas means is question words. So do note when you look at your question words that they all have an accent over them. And they're the who, what, when, where, why, how questions. And if we don't have a question word in a question, it's a yes or no question. Otherwise, the como, how, cuando, when, cuánto is how much is going to tell us the who, what, when, where, why, how part of it. Okay, and finally for this chapter, you of course have your assignment on my.hrw.com, your required assignment. So log in there, find your required assignment. It'll start with a U, I think it's U1, L2 because this is Unit 1, Lesson 2. But here's some additional practice activities. Again, you're going to get immediate feedback here on these because you submit the answers and then it'll tell you which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong. So page 64 has question word practice. You know, the como, how, cuando, when, cuánto is how much, donde, where, por qué, why, por qué is because, qué is what, cuál is which, quién is who or whom, a qué hora, at what time, a donde is where to. So that's part of it. Page 66 is the practice with regular AR preterite. So you take off the AR and add the A. Asteo, amos, astes, aron. And then page 71 is practice with some irregular preterite. So dar, ver, ser, ir, and then the verb aser as well. So do these activities and then you can submit the answers and it'll tell you if you got what you got right and what you got wrong. Okay, good luck. Hasta pronto.